Have you ever committed to a bit so hard that you accidentally missed 3 whole decades? Meet Hiroo Onoda, a man whose dedication to his job makes your corporate grind set look like an afternoon nap. This guy spent nearly 29 years waging a one-man guerrilla war in the jungle. Why? Because he was absolutely 100% convinced that World War II was still going on. To understand how we got here, we have to go back to school, specifically the Imperial Japanese Army's Nakano school. This wasn't your average learn-to-march boot camp. This was elite intelligence training, spy stuff. In 1944, young Hiroo was deployed to Lubang Island in the Philippines with some very specific instructions. His commander looked him dead in the eye and said, "Do not surrender. Hold this territory until we come back, even if it takes years." And Hiroo? He took that very personally. He basically said, "Say less, boss." Shortly after, Allied forces retook the island. Most troops retreated or surrendered. But not Onoda and his small squad. They grabbed their gear and bolted straight into the dense mountain jungles. Cut to 1945. The war officially ends. The world celebrates. Peace is restored. Meanwhile, back in the jungle, Hiroo Onoda is adjusting his camo, waiting for the next attack. For food, it was a gourmet diet of wild fruit and rice borrowed from local farmers. And by borrowed, I mean sneaky nighttime raids. The farmers weren't thrilled, but Hiroo thought it was a tactical requisition. Eventually, people realized there were still dudes hiding out there. So, search parties dropped leaflets over the jungle. The flyers literally said, "The war ended in August. Come on down, we have snacks." But remember, Onoda went to spy school. He looked at this and thought, aha, a clever trap. He dismissed the leaflets as sophisticated, high-level psychological warfare from the enemy. They tried loudspeakers, they broadcasted messages from Japanese officials. Hiroo's reaction? Wow, the enemy's voice actors are getting incredibly realistic these days. They even dropped real photographs of his own family, pleading with him to return. But Hiroo looked at the rebuilt modern Japanese landscapes in the background and said, "Fake news." He literally believed his family had been forced to pose in front of a Hollywood studio set to trick him. Talk about trust issues. Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying Hiroo's level of unmatched, stubborn dedication, channel some of that energy right now and march your mouse over to the like and subscribe buttons. Unlike the leaflets Hiroo found, this is not enemy propaganda. It's just free, high-quality history. Smash that notification bell so you never miss another wild story. Alright, back to the jungle. Decades passed. The world invented color television, went to the moon, and survived the disco era. And Onoda? Still in the jungle, keeping his rifle impeccably clean. Over the years, his remaining comrades either surrendered or sadly passed away in skirmishes. By the early 1970s, Onoda was completely on his own, the ultimate solo player. Enter Norio Suzuki, a Japanese college dropout traveling the world in 1974. Suzuki literally told his friends he was looking for 3 things: a giant panda, Hiroo Onoda, and Bigfoot. In that order. And against all mathematical odds, Suzuki actually found Onoda in the Lubang jungle. They actually became buddies and talked for hours. Suzuki told him, "Dude, seriously, the war is over. Everyone misses you." But Onoda shook his head. "I cannot leave. I have orders. I need my commander to tell me to stop." Suzuki realized that to get this man home, he was going to have to go on a very specific side quest. Suzuki flew back to Japan and tracked down Onoda's former wartime commander, Yoshimi Taniguchi. Turns out, the commander was now an old man, working at a bookstore. Life moves fast when you aren't in a jungle. Taniguchi agreed to fly all the way back to Lubang Island to finally put an end to this madness. On March 9, 1974, Hiroo Onoda walked out of the tree line to meet his old boss. Major Taniguchi stood tall, put on his old military uniform, and read the official orders aloud. The orders explicitly relieved Onoda from all military duties. The mission was officially over. Imagine the realization hitting you all at once. 30 years of hiding, running, and eating wild bananas. It wasn't a trick. The world hadn't been lying to him. He could finally go home. He carefully laid down his functioning Arisaka rifle, his ammunition, and his hand grenades. He kept his family's traditional samurai sword in perfect condition the entire time. He formally surrendered it to Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos, who looked at the situation and basically said, "You know what? Fair enough." Recognizing Onoda was just following strict orders, Marcos granted him a full pardon for his wartime actions. When Onoda returned to Japan, he was an instant national celebrity. People went absolutely wild. But Japan in 1974 was completely different from the Japan he left in 1944. It was a massive culture shock. He actually found modern life a bit too loud and complicated compared to his peaceful jungle routine. So, what did the ultimate survivalist do? He moved to Brazil to become a cattle rancher. Because of course he did. If you can survive 30 years in a jungle avoiding armies, wrangling cattle in Brazil is a walk in the park. Later in life, he returned to Japan and opened a nature camp for kids to teach them survival skills. Imagine getting camping advice from a guy who literally lived out Survivor for 3 decades straight. Hiroo Onoda passed away in 2014 at the age of 91, leaving behind one of the most unbelievable stories in human history. It's a story of loyalty, extreme survival, and what happens when you take never give up just a little too literally. So, next time you feel like quitting your job after a minor inconvenience, just think of Hiroo Onoda, though maybe don't take it quite as far as he did. Doing your chores doesn't require guerrilla warfare. What do you think? Was he a dedicated hero or just incredibly stubborn? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out, history fans. Keep learning, keep questioning, and remember to always check if the war is actually over before hiding in the bushes. And unlike Hiroo, don't make us wait 29 years to come back. We'll see you in the next video.